we would like everyone here to bring in the breath, listening to the breath, holding the breath in the God space, and releasing it 3 times. And then we will Om 3 times. First time breathing in. God space. Breathing in. God space. Last time, breathing in. God space. Three Oms. Breathing in. Om. 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 Today, we come before you. Mankind has looked to Yeshua, to Buddha, to Creator. You carry the divine kark, the Christ consciousness within you. You carry the divine light, the divine breath. As you breathe in, this is a tool given to you, hidden in plain sight. They wish to make you smoke. They wish to give you drugs to change the potency, the sovereignty, the divine being that you are, that you were since birth. This light, this breath, is non-corruptible. However, people who wish power, wish to interrupt it, wish to take it from you, wish to still it, wish to cut it off. At this point in time, so many divine beings, beings of light, are still looking for guidance, for assistance, are still making choices they do not feel are correct. I say to you, there is no judgment in your choice. You are of God. Your choices are valid. You are sovereign beings. As this global issue came around, so many people listened to what was right for them, listened to someone else. Always value your voice, your heart, your breath, your experience. You are all part of the puzzle. We all come together to make one shining puzzle. There is no piece greater or less than any other. This time is purposely for you to listen to yourself, for you to value yourself, for you to develop the gut instinct of sovereignty, of light, of divine being. So as I am here, so you all are. No one is less than me here. I implore you to value your light. I implore you to value your breath. Increase your discernment of what does not feel right, of what does not sound right. As time becomes more imbalanced and chaotic, your instincts, your gut, your heart is what will save you. Your private sanctuary of your light, however you choose to protect it, however you choose to grow it, whether it's gardening or running or meditation or breath work or painting. Your light is your God source. I cannot stress enough. This is a time to listen to yourself, to listen to how your body feels, to listen to your emotions. What does your heart say? What does your gut say? Stop listening. You have your own God source. You have your own guide. You have your own teachers. You have your own light. Yes, you can listen to other speakers. Yes, you can listen to other people that say words of truth. But it is your light to decide how it pertains to you. We are all divine light consciousness. I start each speaking with the breath, not just to ground you, but to hopefully have you focus on the God source that is within you. You all have light. Humans have been taught in so many ways not to value themselves, not to trust themselves, not to speak their truth. That is because they are scared of what your truth will do to the darkness. Speak your truth. The truth is compassionate. It does not hurt. It does not destroy. It loves. It understands. So if someone says truth to you and it hurts you to the quick, it's just the truth. No, it is not just the truth. Truth is not meant to destroy people. Truth is meant to give a ring of resonance, of aha, that feels right. Everyone has the ability not only to be the light, but to connect to the Creator, to establish a line, a connection, a breath work, whatever you choose to say it, to your higher self, to God, to Source Creator. So while we have a piece of the Creator within ourselves, in this body, in this temple, we are also connected in whatever way. Some people are strongly connected, some are not. Some take a lot of time connecting, some do not. Does not matter. There is never judgment on anyone's path. What is important and what I say to you, value your gut, value your heart, value your light. Develop your intuition, develop that source between you, your higher self, your God, your Creator. Check in with your higher light. Know that you are not alone in this. That is why we gather. When you go in the world and people throw truth at us, throw mud at us, throw dishonesty at us, and say, that's the way it is, and we come home spattered in mud. There are times and places that we meet, wash the mud off, spiritually cleanse ourselves. It is said, when two or more are gathered in my name, so shall I be there. This applies to your source. It is not just a God consciousness. It is your consciousness. It is your divine light. Man has been taught for ages to go in church and pray. No. Develop the God within yourself. Develop the light within yourself. You have all known that going to building and talking to somebody up on a podium does not benefit you growing your own light in a spiritual, sovereign way. God does not need a middleman to talk to you. Yeshua does not need a middle. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, there is no middleman needed. There is a Christ consciousness, a galactic consciousness, a universal consciousness that you are part of. You may not pay attention to it now. You may not be invested in it now. But that does not mean that you are not a drop of the ocean of light. That does not mean that the body that you are wearing now, that drop of light, is just a small spark of the cosmic sun. If there was one thing I would say to you, is begin to trust yourself. Begin to develop the sense of what is value to you. Begin to speak your truth and compassion. There are so many people speaking misaligned truths in hurtful ways. But if someone comes to you and says, "Oh, you really look ugly in that dress," how is that true? Say, "No, I look like a radiant sunflower in that dress." Their truth does not cancel your truth out. People are used to, humans are used to being told they are something that they are not. Humans have been told throughout the time, you need someone to talk to God. You need to understand. You need to be under somebody. You need to listen to somebody else. Now is not the time to listen to other people who tell you they know more than you. Now is the time for you to develop your own knowing, for you to develop your own inner sanctuary, for you to stand strong in the light of the divine being that you are. And no matter what untruths are told to you or come to your ear, that you hold the God's truth of who you are. That is why I start with the breath. I'm going to breathe again, and I want you to listen to the sound beyond the breath. The silence is the God within you. The last thing I would say is, as you become more tuned into your breath, more tuned in to your meditation, more tuned into your silence, if you take some time to do it, you will begin to feel the calmness settle in, the quietness settle in, the balance of who you are, connecting to this time and this space. They have tried to have you think about what is in the past, what is coming, not wanting you to be in this space, in this time, in this moment, where all miracles happen, where all power is. And as God is with me now, and is with all of us in this moment, in this here, in this now, I want everyone to be aware of the presence of the light, of the calm, of your quietness that resides. You are one with me. You are one with God. Is there anything else?
Thank you very much for that. We've brought many people here together. Is there any particular message that you would like to give the people that are actually in this gathering today?
This journey for you is much like a Chinese doll. You think you are seeing just one part of the journey. And as you go through processes like this, meeting people like this, you open up and find something else and continue to delayer. This process, this journey that you are all on, is one of letting go what you are truly not. As you are here, and some of you are experiencing the quietness, the light of who you are, this is a step toward experiencing your divinity, your sovereignty as a human, to stand in your quiet peace, for as chaos comes and people become unbalanced even more than they are now, for you to hold your place in your sovereignty, in your knowledge of who you are. Each day remembering more of who you are. Not only will you help the people around you that are unbalanced, is you will evolve this quiet sanctuary, which is essential. I am aware there are many natives around us. Part of awakening is being aware of other presences. And while the natives that are here are very peaceful, and at this point they are welcoming you, also put on your radar those who are not welcoming. There are always yin and yang in all the universe. Attune yourself to be aware of the yin and yang.
How are the trees assisting us during this gathering?
Once again,
How are the trees assisting us during this gathering? Beneath us and above us and around us.
would you like the truth?
Yes.
The trees are an evolved species that have come here from other dimensions, from other planets, to serve mankind, knowing full well that they would be harvested for houses, for furniture, for floors, for utensils. that they would be burned and ravaged. And they still came. They still stand tall. They are connected through the earth. They are connected with the wind that blows through them. They have lost many of their numbers from mankind. They are living. They are communicators. We would say they are more evolved than humans, in a way, such that they can bring the light in from the sun, bring it, use it, release it to the ground, and bring in the nourishment from the ground. Humans have the ability to bring in the light, to use it, to release it, and bring in the energy from the ground. But instead, they make cities of cement and concrete and do not take the healing that is offered freely of the earth. The trees learn to be flexible through the winds and hurricanes, and they know when to hold on and they know when to go. Humans still fight everything. Trees have learned the value of community, of ancestry, of spirits that are here and not here. Humans are still not knowing what is here and what is not here. There is much to be learned from the trees. The trees have been here since the beginning. I've seen man evolve, man destroy, man heal. And they are still here. The lesson of the trees can be learned through their perseverance. It can be learned through their flexibility. The most important thing for humans, and thus in the circle, for they call us the walking trees, is to learn how to assimilate the light of the sun, for it is useful, and to learn how to release what is needed to be let go into the ground, and to allow your feet to hold contact with the ground, letting go, bringing in the energy, the support, and the balance of the earth, bringing it up. Trees naturally funnel and transport light, energy, healing, balance. They exist in the value of community. They are still here to help humans, not just in a way of being destroyed, but in a way of communication, of touching trees. People hug trees, yes, you don't have to. You can touch a tree, balance yourself, support yourself, release through the trees. In this setting, the trees are such ancestry that they have been here for generations and generations. And so being in the sacred ground with these trees that have been here, opening just a little bit to the trees, to the strength, to the sacred quietness, growth, community, is something that we can be open to. We can take in the strength of the community. We can take in the value of having trees that communicate, support, value each other. Trees, interestingly enough, pull in the light, and there are photographs of trees releasing at night. They actually move at night, releasing everything down. There is much to be learned from trees. These trees are sacred. Holding trees and ceremonies in this area, if one is even a little open, can have a multi-dimensional effect. For trees are not just in this dimension. You think when the wind blows through the trees and the trees let the wind blow and send their essence and send their vibration through the wind, that there's not communication there. There's not communication of the trees intertwined with the roots underneath the earth. The trees communicate with not even touching, just as humans did eons before they decided to learn evil and good, light and dark, to expand their knowledge. It is possible.
Are we moving in that direction once again?
It is much like the seashore, which is my favorite metaphor. There are people that are out in the parking lot, and there are people that are walking toward the ocean. Man has always been of free will. So man's free will can either move toward the ocean and be aware of the light source, be aware of the trees, be aware of the community, be aware of the ability to become more than what is, or there can be people drinking beer on the parking lot. Not that there's anything wrong with the beer, but that's just where they are. Humans will always choose their comfort level of comfort. Now, some people are more comfortable being in the parking lot. Other people are more comfortable being in the ocean and experiencing the sound of the ocean, the feel of the ocean, the feel of the light. There will always be levels of growth, levels of experience. So the people that would choose to go in that way, that would choose to continue in that timeline will. The people that continue to choose to be in the parking lot or go into the city and work, that's choice of life, that is where they choose. So there is such, just like a beach, there's a multitude of people. Some people go toward the water, some people go away from the water, some people decide that's a really healthy way to go, and then they pull back. That is the way of the world. People can edge toward it, and then they go back, and then they edge toward it. It is only the people that feel a need. It's like when you were speaking earlier of a need to go to a conference. You need that growth. You need that connection. You need that light expansion. People who experience that need of life expansion, that is a strong part of who they are, cannot deny it and go forward. But how many people feel the need to grow? It is a variance.
Yep. In this group today, they are of like mind. They are awakening. They're looking for contact with others that are the same, that can speak their talk. But there has been a question whether there are some humans on Earth who will not awaken, who don't even have souls. Can you talk about that?
Yes. Just as, let us say, we all decided to come to Earth to assist.
Yes.
Some people came from a lifetime on Earth and came back now to assist. And just as theoretically, there could be people from other planets that want to assist mankind. And let's say, just as theoretically, there could be people that don't want to assist mankind and don't want to see mankind ascend and don't want to see mankind grow strong in their light. And that is the last thing that they would want, is to have mankind realize that they hold the light of God within them. So just as there are people in this group that can feel and know and hold the light of God and know that they are a piece of God, just let us say there's other beings out there that want power. There are other beings out there that, in their lust for power, have become darker. And the darkness and the power is a dangerous addiction for them. And as they feed into the power and the control of humans, just as you have seen the attachments on people that have darkened and there's hardly any light there, and all you see is a dark being. So are these dark beings still alive and walking on earth? And the difference is there are people here to serve and help and assist humans, and there are people, beings here, that want to be in power, be in control. And the darkness of that control, the darkness of that power, is what drives them. So we have a clash of the people who want to be dominant and not have any light, and the people who serve and want to hold light. And it has been like this for eons, the dominant, the dark, the powerful, suppressing the light. But in this time and this space, there are more and more people who have come holding the light, holding the love, getting together, feeling and acknowledging the light and the divine compassion and love and consciousness that they are. So it doesn't matter that there are dark beings from other planets, from other dimensions, from humans that want to control the human race, because there are more and more light beings that are gathering. And just as a dark night where there is no light, where there's nothing, and lights start coming on little by little, and then more and more, the darkness cannot hold the light. The light, one spark of light changes that area. And so as more and more people become more comfortable with being the light, become more comfortable with being of God's source, of being connected to the divineness that they are, so that there is more light. And it doesn't matter how dark it was before, because the light is coming in, and in coming in greater numbers every day. So it doesn't matter that the dark was in control, because the light is coming in greater numbers consistently.
Can you talk about this light? Are these children that are coming in, or is this actually some sort of energy that is coming in?
It is multifold. Yes, definitely there are light children that are coming in fully loaded and are coming in with more gifts. And also the waves that have been here are awakening, and people are remembering, and people are wanting more than the 9 to 5. And also the reality that we held for eons is beginning to dissolve. The veil is beginning to thin. And the sun, which they told us we could not go out into without covering your eyes, without covering your skin. The sun is giving more light without us saying, no, I cannot take the light. I will not see the light. I will not accept the light into my eyes or into my skin. What a trick that was for mankind, for the one thing that gave it light, to trick mankind into not seeing, into covering up against it. But mankind is beginning to not be as scared as they have been taught to be. It is not easy to go against everything you have been told about the sun, about listening to yourself, especially when the people in power have been manipulating for so many years. There is changes coming in more than one direction. The multidimensional effects and frequencies. People are beginning to be more aware of their talents, more aware of their connections. They're beginning to remember more than being just Jane Doe that lives on 305 Foster Street. They're getting profound connections of being more than who they are. I would very easily say everyone in this circle is not just human. No one in this circle is just human. Think about that. What are you? What makes up you? Where does your light come from? Where does your coding come from? Where is your home? Where does your vibration hone into? What stars call you at night? What sun calls you in the daytime? People are beginning to understand they are more than what they have been told all their life. It is time. But you got to remember, man cannot go too fast. It has to be a slow process.
Very good, thank you. I'd like to get more clarity about what has happened to mankind in the last 2 years.
So, the 2 years were a choice point. The people in power said, this is a perfect time, everything's set up, we can control mankind, they will do what we say, we can give them medicine, we can control them, they'll stay in their houses, we can shut down the world. And then from that point, we will control it. And that's what you saw begun. They literally shut down the world, had people live in fear, had people live just, they didn't know if they were going to die the next year or not. They were scared of their neighbors, they were scared of their families. They were scared of everything. And if you did not know anymore, you would think that the dark, the powerful, the elite that wanted to control the world had won. There are always points of light that say, I don't feel comfortable wearing that. No, I don't feel comfortable staying inside. No, I don't feel comfortable getting that. That doesn't feel right to me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go running down the street. I'm going to go walk my dog. That doesn't make sense to me. No, I can't buy it. And there were enough people, humans, that had that choice point of not listening to the powerful close down the world. And they said, no. And it wasn't a big deal. It was like, no to this, no to that, no. I am going to live my life. I'm going to be a full breathing, functioning human being. And you cannot tell this sovereign being to stay in a house and be frozen in fear. So much of the world was frozen in fear. But then little pockets of people said, no, I'm not going to do that. This was a huge choice point for people. Are they going to believe themselves, what they know is right for them, what they know is right for their body, what they know is right for them as a human being? And other people who allowed or bought into or were coerced into the fear. So many people lived in fear for so long. Dark, horrible, terrible nightmares. But then there were other people that, and this is what we're saying, that knew what was right for them and honored that. That was such an enormous choice point. And they stood up for what they believed in, even though they were disrespected, hated, all sorts of stuff. They stood for what they knew was right for them. That was huge. And even though it was meant to conquer and put the world in fear, it didn't. It instead began the turn, began the clock changing, began the pendulum swinging. They thought they had it, but instead people started waking up and saying no. It was essential. They thought they had it, but no, it was essential for people to see what they if they are going to believe in the self, if they're going to believe in that light, just like I say, believe in who you are, believe in your light, believe in your sovereignty. Yes, you can listen to other people, but you need to have your own truth.
Mm-hmm. So what do you say now to all of those who took the medicine and have regretted it?
Unfortunately, there is ingredients in that is destructive to the human body. There were false ones. There were ones that had the destructive disease in it. So some people did not get anything, and they just got the fake. And they did it on purpose, because if they gave everybody the poison at first shot and everybody killed over, no one would take the second one. So they just had varying degrees of potency and poison and saline solutions. They didn't go all out poison on the first one. They had just different degrees, so they didn't say, oh, that's just them. So there are the people that have the poison in them that are dying or may die. And then the other part of that is, and that's not for me to say, did they come in to show that, look, this is poisonous. This is something that shouldn't be in your body. There are always people that come in that are willing to say, this is wrong, and I'm going to show you in this way.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've had choices before in our life where we've had to go in one direction or another. This seems to have been the greatest one so far. Is it because of the fact that we are getting so powerful that somehow this was used for us to
kill you all off?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why it was essential for the people to not take it.
Yeah. Did they choose who got this placebo or saline? Did those in power actually know? No.
It was very random.
It was random. Perhaps, did the soul know when getting the saline or the toxic medicine?
No, the soul did not know. That would take away the whole choice point.
Okay. All right. So once they got the medicine, they got the medicine.
Yes.
That was it. All right.
And just put it out there, the solar flash is not going to clear all the disease that's in you. It just won't.
Okay.
You know, who we are as divine beings is becoming more like the light. And as we let the light in and we become more light, we evolve, we change, we remember. It doesn't mean that the arthritis that we had in our shoulder suddenly goes away. No. Mm-hmm. The ascension process, the light bringing in process, I prefer the light bringing in process, because not everyone ascends, but everyone can choose to some degree to let the light in. So the light bringing in process is greatly decided by one's own free will, which is the way it has always been.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about this solar flash? First of all, what is it? Are we going through it already? And do we actually have to be outside to get this light?
Okay. Let's say Florida has a hurricane coming up the coast. And it doesn't matter if you're inside or out, you know. The effects are much like having one hurricane after another hurricane after another hurricane. There may be degrees of intensity, there may be degrees of how it affects you, but one thing is certain. It is a force of nature. It is a force of galactic nature. So it is something that has always occurred, like tornadoes, like hurricanes. It is something that naturally occurs in the galaxy. So as it occurs naturally in the galaxy, so we are affected by it. And just say, you run every day and it's something that you do. So when it's time to race, you're very comfortable racing. But if you've been playing video games for the last 5 years and it's time for you to go race, you're going to have a hard time doing that because you have not been in training. So we could say that at this point, mankind is in training for bringing in the light. So the more that you do for yourself as a human to bring in the light, to help yourself, to love yourself, the more that the vibrational frequencies of light, the flashes, the flares will be of benefit. It's just like if you're out there doing the work every day as opposed to be sitting and feeding off the electronics. If you're in that electronic artificial mode, the flashes and the flares are just part of the matrix for you, if that makes sense. We have to be in training. All of mankind, if they chooses to, has to be in training every day to increase who they are as a light being, so that when the light flashes come in, once again, as the ocean, it is not just the waves, it is the sound of the waves, it is the feel of the waves, it is the sun. The solar flash isn't just light, it is an experience. But it doesn't just happen once, it is happening in waves. And if you're not at the beach, you're not going to experience it. If you're not even at least facing the beach, you're not going to even be aware that there's light coming in. It's your choice on where you choose to be as a human. And there's no judgment because it's where you choose. It's your choice.
So this is not one event. It is continuous.
It has been since man left God's source.
Okay.
It's the same thing as you running away from home. Your father doesn't stop looking for you. Your father doesn't stop sending out love, trying to find out where you are to bring you back home, to assist you. So think of it when man left God, when man decided to experience light and dark on his own. They left the God harmony. They went off to expand. So when they left the light source, God didn't say, oh, you're on your own. No, as a loving creator father, continually sending out waves, continually looking, continually assisting, continually sending waves of light. It has never stopped. Ever since we have separated to experience more and more, God has sent out, creator has sent out light, vibration, frequency, assistance, support. It's never stopped. We've just become more aware of it.
Is there going to be one major one coming?
No, because that would destroy too many people.
Okay.
God, and I feel this way also, as Yeshua, and so does Mother Mary, we are not going to destroy all of humanity that can't take it. God, Mother Mary, Holy Spirit will not destroy half of mankind to enlighten the other. Why would we damage any of our children for the benefit of somebody else? The full force of the solar flash would be devastating for much of mankind. So if you think with your heart, would God really send a solar flash that would send people out of their mind and kill them? Would God destroy people with his love? So that's why we are saying that it is something that has continual. And when you pay attention to it and you accelerate to it, you are more aware of it. And if you turn away from it and pay more attention to AI or technology, then you are not aware of it. It is something that is ongoing. And like the most important thing is the Creator would not destroy a whole segment of society for the benefit of somebody else.
Can you explain a little bit more? Because it seems like this solar flash would harm the ones that are not at that vibration. Correct?
Exactly.
So as the solar event is happening to us now, we are accelerating in our vibration. We are turning on more lights. We are connected with more skills. So those that are in the dark, are they being harmed or are they awakening?
Once again, that is a variance of intensity. There are people that, because also Gaia, is ascending and her frequency is raising. There are people that are so uncomfortable and are so in pain by the change in frequency that, yes, they are choosing to leave. And it's just too painful and their body quits and they leave. So there is some of that the person's body cannot handle a vibration change, so that's part of it. There's another part of it that it can disturb people to a extent that they look for help, whether it's priests or therapists or someone that might help them understand the changes that they're feeling. And then there would be a third one, which would be a negative reaction, trying to extinguish a light, trying to extinguish what's happening, which isn't the best way, but it does happen. And then there's also the other way of it being affected, but them gradually waking up in a gradual way, which is what we always look for. We don't want to damage or harm humans or cause them distress. We want, it's like throwing buckets of water on someone that's sleeping. They inhale it and they wake up horrible. That is not what a loving creator wants to do. A loving creator wants to gently shake you, maybe wiggle your toes a little bit, tell you how much they love you, please wake up, we're waiting for you, I got a great meal, come give him hugs. There's different ways of waking people up. We prefer to do it in love.
Okay, good. One of the questions that I have in my mind, because so many people channel now, and so much information is coming in, not all of it is clear. Many say that when we ascend, that we're going to be on a new earth. Some people say we are really creating this new earth. I look around my backyard and I feel like I'm already here, but what is this new change that we truly are going to feel?
So it is multidimensional. The first base one is Gaia is changing. Her frequency is changing. The hertz, the frequency of Gaia is changing. And in response to that, humanity is changing their frequency. Now, what's a good way to phrase that? I have been witnessing, once again, humans are multivariant, that we will go back to the monk story, that monks spend their whole life changing their frequency, attuning their frequency, and some become enlightened. And so they are no longer of this earth. Their vibration has changed, so their body may be here, but their vibration has changed. And if you do notice, there are people that, as their vibration changes, who they are changes. So it's not... The earth is changing in a frequency. Humans are changing in a frequency. But the key point to all this is that an internal integration of the light of your divinity is being integrated, so that it is not new earth per se, but the combination of Earth raising her frequency to a different dimensionality, and humans in response to that and other stimulus changing their frequency, upgrading their frequency, going to a place where they are more than the frequency they were before. Say there's just Joe that walks around and he just sweeps, and that's all he does for his life. And then he finds a piano and he finds out that he enjoys a piano, and so he begins being an artist on this piano. We evolve in a way that is comfortable, pleasurable, and the best and highest for us. Just because we are at one point and we evolve, the whole point of humanity, the whole point of being light beings, is to evolve in a way that is most pleasurable, most productive, and is most light producing for each person. So each person is going to have a different vibrational frequency growth depending on what they go with, what meshes with them, what is the best way for them to increase their frequency. So this is it's a difference between somebody who plays a piano and somebody who paints and somebody who's a master chef. Everyone finds their greatest creator skills. We will call it that, creator skills, manifestation skills. When you learn your manifestation key point, that changes everything. It is becoming evolved enough to find your manifestation creator so that you are comfortable creating and manifesting in your true form. And so it doesn't matter, you know, whether it's new earth or not, because it's you as a God source that is finding the best outlet for you as a creator. So it is all of us becoming a creator and a most harmonious frequency for our particular point of light.
Okay, I understand, which is why I manifested this place.
Yes.
My
Yes.
heaven, my heaven on earth. Good. So I'd like to expand a little bit beyond my backyard, which is what's happening in the United States right now. There is a lot of turmoil. It seems like the country is falling apart. What do you imagine is going to happen to the United States as a nation? Are we also evolving into something else?
Yes. We are trying to make it as bloodless as possible. The ideal scenario is to allow more and more humanity to see behind the scenes, to see what is truth for them, to see how they have been lied to, but in a way that it does not lead to bloodshed. The ideal way is to say somebody's reading the New York Times all their life and then they see this piece and it's like completely balderdash. And they're like, that's balderdash. And that piece allows them to begin looking at other things. The main piece of this is to begin to have people question what they've always accepted. So we would like it to be non-aggressive, non-bloodshed, and to have people wake up in a non-panic, freaked out mode. So, which is why it has taken us such a long time, because there is so much, and it has been this way for eons. There's so much human trafficking. There's so much damage to innocence. But it has been that way ever since there were people that wanted power. So for people to understand that there is legitimate evil, legitimate trafficking, legitimate innocents being killed, that's pretty heavy. So we are trying to unveil it at a slower rate that does not cause trauma, because God, the Creator, and Mother God does not want damage, does not want destruction, does not want humankind to be flushed down the toilet. This is a time of awakening, of seeing what has not been seen before. So we as loving creators want to have it as positive as possible. Of course, it's going to be traumatic for people when they realize that the people they trusted were not trustworthy. It's like finding out your mother and father were drug addicts. It's devastating. So therefore, the whole point is to go forward in as gentle manner as possible. And yes, it will be shocking, but as loving creators, as all of us being loving creators, the best thing that we can hope for is that their damage to mankind will be minimal, not counting that there's been damage already to all the victims.
Yes. So how long do you imagine it would take for this transition to take place in the U.S.? Are we talking decades?
We will say it is like someone's feet that have been blistered and calloused and damaged from walking, and there is much damage done to the feet. The healing may take as long as the damage, but if there is qualified healers and light workers, it can be done much more quickly. It depends on how deep the damage is to the United States, and it is quite deep. It is quite thorough, which is why more and more light workers are being empowered, we will say. We are trying to give them more light source, more community. So the more light workers that are there to give light, to give healing, the more the damaged foot will heal. I am feeling 5-ish years, maybe not that much. It really depends on the light workers being able to respect their own life and their own sovereignty. Yes, I know the people out there are just like closing their eyes and not aware of anything, but the keys are the light workers respecting the light that they are, and respecting their sovereignty and respecting the creators that they are. That's where we hold all the hope, is in all the light workers, all the people that love, all the people that care, all the people that are connected. And there are a lot out there. And the more communities, the more connections, the more healers working on that foot. So it depends on how many of the light workers are able to respect their own light. That is the key ingredient.
Okay, thank you. There are many volcanic eruptions, many earthquakes going on right now around the world. What do you say to those that are in those areas that are being affected?
Unfortunately, there is much negativity in those areas, and just as some areas are being cleaned out underneath the earth, that is also being cleared out. Listen to yourself. If you feel, wow, this isn't safe, this is not a safe place for me, do whatever you need to do to get yourself out of that. It doesn't matter if you have a cushy house. You have to take care of who you are in your family. Because if the volcano comes, the volcano comes. Because there's clearing and cleansing going on, even more so. So I would say if you're in an age of danger, get out. Because those activations, that clearing, that cleansing, the clearing of the underground is taking place. So you must respect your sovereignty. And if you feel like it's not in a safe place, get out. That's all I can say, get out.
Very good. I have one last question, which is what we've been told, that there are many of our extraterrestrial friends that are kind of waiting and watching and ready to assist. Can you expand on that? Because I know that Carol and MJ saw in their dreams a ship. What do you say about that?
Well, first of all, as someone who has been throughout mankind, the ages, there are good and bad aliens, off-worlders, we will call them. They don't like aliens, off-worlders.
Yes.
So before I say anything else, do not ask to connect to them. If you connect to them, you are giving them free will to invade your space. Say, I would like to see you. You can say over there. It'd be nice to visualize you. Do not allow them into your personal space, using the word connect or relationship. Because once you use that word with the off-worlder, you are giving them permission to come to you and connect and attach. So that's my first word, is do not use a relationship or connection, because you're giving them permission. And you don't need to have them attached to you going forward. So ever since, even before mankind were here, there were off-worlders. Let's face it, there were off-worlders before there were mankind. There are bases that were here before mankind. There are underground caverns that were here before mankind. There's even the earliest drawings show off-worlders. They were here before us. Their races, their tribes were here before us. If you want to be honest, the trees are off-worlders. They have just come to assist. So yes, there are off-worlders. Yes, there are a variety of them. And we are going to say in all delicacy, many people are hybrids of different planetary races, and very few people are just straight off human. They're human with a little dash of Pleiadian, and they feel a real drawn to Pleiadian. Or they're, some of this and some of that, and they feel a draw toward that planet, toward that race. So if you feel a draw to that, my first thing is make yourself knowledgeable, learn what you can, feel with your gut, always do some automatic handwriting to check in with your higher self, to check in with yourself, give yourself some time. And then, like I said, we do not ever say the word connect, because you're giving them permission to connect to your body. And you don't want to do that. Go out, say, I'd like to see you anytime you want to show over my house, and you can have maybe a relationship, far distant one, but you really need to know who you are talking to. You need to know the vibration you're talking to. You need to always go into any situation with as much knowledge and intuition going. So yes, there are aliens around us all the time, and obviously they're quite good at cloaking, but protect yourself, learn what you can, do your knowledge, do your, gut searching, do your handwriting, whatever you can. But as off-worlders are coming to, maybe interact with us more, be careful of your wording with them. Please be careful with your wording of them. Do not give them permission to be more, invasive. You do not want them invading your private space.
Well, I know that there are many groups that get together and they communicate with them and ask them to flash their lights.
Yeah, well, that's different. If you can go flash your lights different than, come over and connect with me on a personal level, then they're connecting. They are actually connecting with you. And you don't want that connection. But yes, if you want to see them or, have them say hi or flash above your house, that's completely different than allowing them to get inside your boundaries.
Are they going to be visiting physically here?
They already have.
Okay.
It's nothing new. Okay. They just don't talk about it.
Okay, but there'll be more of that, or we'll hear more about that?
They are aware of people's vibration and their ability to tolerate different vibrations. So it will be more toward people that will be okay with that.
Okay.
If one just popped up right here, the rest of us would be shocked. So it is on a case-by-case basis as far as interaction and showing up and visiting.
Okay. Because some people are like, they're going to come here to rescue us and pick us up.
No. It'd be the whole rule is that you can't interfere with mankind. It does mankind nothing if they come and save us. Mankind will have learned nothing through all these eons. Mankind must understand where they've gotten where they are now. If someone comes and picks them up, this whole eon journey will be wasted. The whole thing is to learn about why we are, who we are, saving ourselves. We don't want anybody to save humans. Humans must learn that they are sovereign and save themselves.
Okay, good. Thank you. So whose spaceships did Carol and MJ see in their dreams? They want to know.
Oh, MJ saw several different.
Okay, were they nice beings?
Oh, yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they both saw the same ships?
Carol saw only one. MJ saw several different kinds.
Okay. Was there a reason why they saw these ships at this time over this place?
To let them know they're there.
Okay. No other reason?
No. Okay. A lot of times it's just, hey, we're here.
Okay. Just a...
How you doing? We're here. Hi.
Okay. Terrific. Is there anything else, or do you feel that you've gotten across the message today?
I would say... I know mankind's been through a lot, but this is happening, and patience with yourself, knowing that we are changing, we are going through a process. Yes, it is going slow, but yes, it is happening. Take care of yourself, take care of the loved ones that you have around you, and as much as you can, develop a trusting community.
Very good. Thank you very much. And with that, I'd like for you to go ahead and, I'd like to thank all of those that were here, because I'm sure there are many that have come to assist. Just out of curiosity, before we disconnect, how many have been working with Carol today?
A lot.
A lot. Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of you for assisting. And with that, I'd like to bring back Carol.
He says, thank you for letting your surgeons assist people.
Search tool?
Your angels.
My angels?
Your angels were helping people today.
Interesting.
Do you know you have angels that help people
Yes.
during your sessions?
Yes.
They were here helping.
Wonderful. Terrific. What'd you all think about this? Good? Good. So Carol, it's been a while. We saw each other. We got a mosquito on your eye. We saw each other last year and now this year.
Yeah.
So a lot has changed with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So tell everybody what's been happening with you and what you've been up to.
Last time after I saw you, my doctor's like, you need to change your whole life. And I'm like, why? And he goes, well, you can either have medicine or you change your life.
Oh,
So I started changing my life. And I lost 20 pounds and started walking and running. And
fantastic. Fantastic.
it was basically like, I'm not going to take medicine, so.
There you go. So, sometimes we have to be scared to change, and that happens to a lot of us.
Yeah.
So I want to thank all of you for watching here today. This has been a gathering. We're in Micanopy, Florida, and we're surrounded by these beautiful off-world trees, and it's been a pleasure. So thank you all for attending, for watching, and you could see the group all around. Everybody say hello. There we go. So it's been a good group, and did everybody enjoy it?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have people from all over, people from Florida, Texas, New York, where else? Maryland. Did I miss any? No? Alabama is another one. So I'll catch you at the next video. Thanks for watching. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.